During this past offseason, we have seen some teams spend a ton of money to improve their rosters, like the Texas Rangers with Corey Seager and Marcus Semien, or the Mets with Max Scherzer, Starling Marte, and others. You then have teams that spent a decent amount to improve their rosters, like the Marlins, for example. And then there are teams like the Oakland A's, Cincinnati Reds, or Baltimore Orioles, teams who have traded their best players while also spending next to nothing on their roster. In 2021, the lowest payrolls in baseball were composed of teams like the Orioles, A's, Pirates, and others. The Orioles were dead last, and at 29th was Cleveland. Prior to the 2021 season, the the Guardians of the Galaxy traded away star shortstop Francisco Lindor to the New York Mets. That obviously is not something that's going to make Cleveland fans rush to get tickets at the ballpark. In fact, it of course does quite the opposite. Now, Cleveland still had a solid team in 2021. They weren't that good, but they weren't that bad. Just very mid. They finished at 80 and 82, and it was just an overall very forgettable team. With that being said, third baseman Jose Ramirez was very good, hitting .266 with an OPS right near 900, becoming an all-star and finishing 6th in the AL MVP voting. This was coming off of a 2020 where he was 2nd in the MVP voting, and after a career full of success. Ever since 2016, Ramirez has not had an OPS below 800 and has had an OPS over 900 3 out of those 6 years. In the last 6 seasons, J-Ram has hit over 150 home runs, plays solid defense, and is overall one of the best third basemen in baseball. As good as he is, Cleveland was serious about trading him. If they did indeed trade him, this would be just a single year after dealing Lindor. That's 2 stars in the left side of your infield gone. More penny pinching from the ownership and front office, and seemingly less of a desire to win. With the low payroll and poor play in 2021, things weren't looking bright in Cleveland. With that being said, everything just changed. According to MLB insider Jeff Passan, the Guardians were deep into conversations with teams in recent days about a potential Jose Ramirez trade. They were serious about this. The expectation was that if the two sides didn't come to an agreement on a big extension that was long-term, he was going to be traded. And speaking of teams who thought they might have had Ramirez, the San Diego Padres entered the chat. The Guardians weren't really committing to anyone beyond 2022, and that obviously is not a recipe for long-term sustained success in Cleveland. People haven't really been high on the team's ownership because they've never had too much of a desire to spend and want to win. As of right now, however, that has seemed to change, at least a little bit. That's because the Cleveland Guardians front office finally paid Jose Ramirez, giving him a 5-year, $124 million contract extension. And this is big for a number of reasons. Everyone seemed to criticize Cleveland and their ownership for not getting out the cash to pay Lindor, but in hindsight, it honestly could have been the smart move to make, the move to not pay Lindor. Francisco Lindor, as much as I adore the man, is nowhere near the best shortstop in baseball. Cleveland didn't necessarily need to pay him, and now when it comes to what the left side of the infield used to look like with both Ramirez and Lindor, they have the better of the two locked up. Ramirez is far more a consistent hitter and has a good glove, too. So yes, Ramirez is a great player, and now the Guardians have him for many more years. But this has a deeper meaning, one which shows a bright overall future for the Guardians and how they will fare on both the field and front office in the coming years. What this shows is that the front office and ownership are willing to put some money into this team. They also already signed reliever Emmanuel Clase to a 5-year deal worth $20 million, which could end up being a steal. This could also mean that they'll pay Shane Bieber, Franmil Reyes, and others who are really talented on this team. And I haven't even talked about the 5 prospects in that organization who are listed in baseball's top 100 prospect list. This team could be legit, or not. Whatever the case is, though, it's great to see a team spending some money, especially on a homegrown player like Jose Ramirez, who has really impacted Cleveland since 2016 in such a good way. Let me know how you think the Cleveland Indian Guardians of the Galaxy will do in 2022, and thank you for watching.